we're going to talk about the science of stepping outside your comfort zone because I'm a huge nerd and I like to research it. And this has been a topic I've researched over and over again because it fascinates the crap out of me. So I hope that you're excited and you are ready to learn as to what are the benefits and how to step outside your comfort zone more often if it's not something you're already doing. If you want to become an entrepreneur, this is a skill that is essential, like beyond essential. This is like the bread and butter for entrepreneurs. This is what we do every single freaking day. We challenge the norms. We take risks. We, do things that no one does. We honestly put ourselves in situations that we are just winging it pretty often, especially when you're starting. So this is a good way to see the benefits, learn the benefits, and perhaps put them into practice now in your life in case you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur or you're aspiring to do other big things, whatever they may be. Travel alone, travel solo, those kinds of things. They also help you build a lot of what we're talking about, but it's like a circle. It's like it goes all the way around. Everything is intertwined. But this is really interesting. I hope you'll like it. So I am excited. So we are going to explore the benefits of this, and we're going to go with number one. So stepping outside your comfort zone, boost your confidence. So if you are lacking confidence, doing small stepping outside your comfort zone moments is going to boost your confidence. So it forces you to confront and overcome fears, of course. So that's what you're doing. And each small success reinforces the belief in your ability to handle challenges. So this is where the science comes in. So the confidence in you grows as you accumulate these wins, and it makes you more willing to tackle larger goals and take on new opportunities or new challenges. So this is based in psychology, and there's a really cool one that I think ties into this the best is self-efficacy theory. So it demonstrates that successful experiences gradually increase our ability to, our belief in our ability. So the belief is influenced by past experiences, observations of others, and support received from others. So, for instance, if you have successfully completed a similar task before, you are likely to have a high self-efficacy in that area. And otherwise, if you've witnessed like others fail, or you had a lack of support in an area, then your self-efficacy would be lower. So overall, self-efficacy plays a big role in motivating us to take on challenges and pursue goals. So basically, self-efficacy is your belief, and your belief is what drives your confidence. Because if you believe it, you will do anything to achieve it, and you will do it. Huge. So, which it makes it a lot easier when starting something that is a bit or is a lot scary and outside your comfort zone, right? So, stepping out there even slightly increases confidence, and confidence increases your belief. So, try something small and you'll benefit from this. Okay, on to number two. Stepping outside your comfort zone enhances your ability to adapt, your adaptability. So, regular exposing yourself to new experiences and situations builds your adaptability and your resilience, of course. So, you learn to navigate unfamiliar situations, terrain, you adjust to change, you find solutions, and in unforeseen, unknown circumstances. So, and this is the best part, this adaptability that you've practiced and increased within yourself, it extends beyond the initial specific challenge. So the first time you step outside your comfort zone, after that, it becomes something that is repeatable. So it's valuable and a repeatable life skill. So studies in cognitive flexibility are what showcase this for me. So they show that people who engage in a large variety of experiences develop better adaptability. And this comes from an increased brain plasticity. So it allows for easier learning and adaptation. It's all tied together. So increased plasticity refers to your brain's ability to change and adapt in response to experiences. So in response to experiences, learning, and environmental influences. So when you expose yourself to more of those, then you actually increase your plasticity, which is, in case we will do a whole episode on neuroplasticity in case you want to know more about this. But plasticity is neuroplasticity. So it's the brain's capacity to reorganize its structure, its function, and its connections in response to, so responding to different stimuli, which comes from like experiences. So adaptation lights up the brain in certain areas. So this particular activity, adaptation, lights up the ventrolateral and the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, anterior cingulate cortex, and the right anterior insula. So they're all different areas of your brain, but the things like decision making, cognitive control, working memory, cognitive flexibility is what we're talking about, decision making, all of that, and awareness of like internal body sensations, emotions, empathy. So that adaptation, the practice of adapting, even small adaptations, increases this neural activity. So it overall increases your plasticity. This is what cognitive flexibility is. So the ability to learn and adapt throughout life. It plays a huge role in brain development, learning, and the brain's capacity to recover from injury or disease, which lights me up, right? Like, wow. So a somewhat simple, small step outside your comfort zone can change so much more than just your life situation or whatever you're aiming for, why ever, that's my new word, so whatever the reason why you stepped outside your comfort zone, it's changing more than that. It's changing, your health and your well-being. How cool is that? So another reason to step outside your comfort zone today. Okay, so the next one is stepping outside your comfort zone improves problem-solving skills, which is funny because it's a bit opposite to adaptability in a funny way. I actually was curious about this one, fascinated by this one. So stepping outside your comfort zone encourages creativity and resourcefulness, right? So facing challenges that don't have solutions that you can predetermine from your previous experiences, like increases your problem solving abilities, right? So but the cool thing is skills developed in one area when you are problem solving are transferable to tackle issues in other areas of life. So for example, basically, simply put, so if you're taking on a new project at work, for example, and that contains unfamiliar aspects to it, and that can lead to stimulating those new neural connections. Sorry, that's what problem solving does. So even if it's not a huge challenge, but something that maybe feels like a smaller step forward for you, maybe your big goal is to actually share your ideas in a meeting, though. So your ability or your ability to be like, I'm going to say yes to this project. It's kind of more than I think I can handle, but I can do it because I really want to get better enough so that I can speak up in meetings and share my ideas. So that challenge you've taken on, other than, or like the more deeply rooted thing is that problem solving you have added to your life within that project is deeply connected to your ability to, in the next meeting, raise your hand or whatever, share an idea in the big meeting, even though like, you know, putting up your hand or whatever is what scares you the most, right? So there are different levels of like risk and fear that we all have. Like mine would definitely be not putting up my hand, but I could take on the paperwork project. That's fine. But even if the paperwork project was like, oh, I've never done that before, I don't know. But I wanted to be able to put my hand up in the next meeting. Like it's directly related. You've used your problem solving skills within that paperwork. And that's going to give you like this internal raising of your abilities, and it's going to give you more cognitive skills, etc., and probably build your resilience too, but that's different. It's giving you like this neural resilience to be able to be like, you know what, I'm going to put my hand up in this meeting, I'm going to face this new fear. Really cool. So this new like edge of my comfort zone, really cool. Okay, so I got really excited, now I've lost it. Yeah, that's basically it. So problem solving is actually, funnily enough, so this is what we were saying at the beginning, problem solving is like the opposite of adaptability, which I thought was interesting. So adaptability gives us cognitive flexibility, where problem solving actually seems to give us cognitive inflexibility, where, you know, problem solving, like the nature of the problem, it does like whatever it is, it's always kind of different, but typically it involves like reasoning, planning, and decision making, really like structured things, where adaptability is obviously the opposite of that. So it's lighting up different parts of your brain. I found that really interesting because I was like, if I can problem solve, I can adapt, right? But they're both different areas. So I thought that was really cool. So the next one, so number 4 is the last one, but I have more. Stepping outside your comfort zone builds resilience and emotional growth, which is where I was leading to in the last one anyway. So regularly confronting discomfort helps build emotional resilience. So emotional resilience is your ability to manage fear, uncertainty, and stress more effectively, which obviously translates to like all aspects of your life. So stepping outside your comfort zone, even one micro step a day, is going to build this emotional resilience, not just regular resilience. I'm gonna say it's emotional resilience because it's this umbrella of like abilities and abilities. We're gonna go with that. So studies in psychology and neuroscience emphasize this. So like exposure to controlled stressors, such as those encountered. I'm going to just read this one because I was like, this is a good sentence. Such as those encountered when stepping out of one's comfort zone can lead to increased emotional resilience. So I had to put like as this exposure to controlled stressors. So those little micro, you know, you realize you could do this, you can handle this potentially, but it still scares you. That's a controlled stressor. You might not know, actually, you might actually know what the result might be. So that might be your control, right? You are a little bit in control, but you're like, that's still going to stress me out, but you go for it. That's building up this emotional resilience. Okay. So, and in turn, oh, this is the kicker as well. Emotional resilience is so tied to, so it's like intertwined to stepping outside your comfort zone, right? So if you build this emotional resilience, it's easier to step outside your comfort zone. If you step outside your comfort zone, it's easier to build emotional resilience, or like that's how you build it essentially. Essentially. So what like is emotional resilience then? This is kind of things that I think like personal development is all aiming for, right? But it's actually so potent. So like emotionally resilient people tend to maintain a positive outlook. The focus on like the good, the growth, the learning, even in like times of like hard times, right? So adversity, that's a good word. um they are flexible, they adapt more easily, or if it's, let's say it's you adapt if you're more emotionally resilient to you're like more able to adjust your own thoughts, your own emotions. You're more you're able to like control them, not control them, but be aware of them and let them um not let them control you in like challenges. Your emotionally resilient people are more emotionally aware. Um, so we're more accepting of our emotions, or they're more accepting. I won't claim to just be completely emotionally resilient, I guess. They're more accepting of their own emotions. They're accepting of like the good and the bad emotions, right? So that allows those people to cope better with like stress and like shitty situations, um because they can see like what their emotions are doing. um they're better, so emotionally resilient people are better at problem solving, or they're good at problem solving. So your problem solving skills increase when you increase your emotional resilience, and you do that by stepping outside your comfort zone. But anyway, um typically like you start to build up all this proof that you can do these things, right? So you build up like a sense of like actually wanting to solve problems. So that's really cool. Emotionally resilient people have strong social connections. That's an aim for everyone. We naturally aim for that. So like having friends or family or some like support network around you, to help you during difficult times or good times or whatever. Emotionally resilient people prioritize their self, or like self-care. They are like physically active, take care of their mental health, and they exercise, they have hobbies, they reach for different professions. Oh, sorry. Anyway, moving on. That was the next point. Anyway, so we have a sense of purpose. We reach for more purpose in our lives. Emotionally resilient people do, and they usually feel connected to something greater than themselves. So that's where emotionally resilient people are. That is kind of like the floor plan of being emotionally resilient. So I think naturally we aim to be there. So this is where that ties back into stepping outside your comfort zone. So it actually helps you build emotional resilience, which is what we're aiming for. So if we aim for stepping outside your comfort zone, which is ultimately an easier, a quicker thing. So emotional resilience is obviously built over time. It's built over your life. It's built over, yeah, like a longer period. But right now, you can step outside your comfort zone right now, and that will get your ball rolling on this new like emotional resilient life that you want. So we're going to focus on that at the end here. So firstly, basically, you have to want to do this, right? If you don't want to be stronger or more capable at anything in your life, I don't know, if you're happy with the vanilla, the norm, then this isn't for you. Then don't step outside your comfort zone. That's cool with me. I fucking think it's important. I love stepping outside my comfort zone. Uh, love, and it's a love-hate relationship, right? I love riding my motorcycle, but I don't want to ride my motorcycle anymore and it just be like a basic ride. Now it's like, how can I challenge the barriers of that? Where can I go faster? Where can I do a wheelie? Whatever, constantly pushing the barriers, because you end up being in this, you can end up being very, especially as you grow older, you naturally start to avoid risk. But as soon as you add a little bit more risk, a little bit more outside your comfort zone to your life, it ripple effects through your life. And you are, like I just gave you all these 4 reasons, you build all of this into your life, and it's amazing. Like you just start seeing like how much more you can handle, how many bigger problems you can handle, or like, you don't even see them as problems anymore if you're emotionally resilient. But just stepping outside your comfort zone gives you so much freedom to add more cool, challenging things to your life that don't feel that hard, right? So if you're ever looking at millionaires and billionaires, etc., obviously they have stepped outside their comfort zone so many times, so many times that it's normal to them, but they're still finding places they can. So if you want to have as much resilience as them, you have to start here. And so definitely start every day. I definitely notice when I potentially take a few days off doing anything, like pushing any boundaries, then I start to shrink my abilities and my ability to handle stress, my ability to handle big situations, my ability to, even just like I said, like ability to, I guess that is a good example. I hate always referring back to it, but like riding a motorbike and ability to do a wheelie. If I don't do that for a long time, or even like a week, it's a lot harder because I'm like, oh, I'm back to like the beginning of the fear. So if I do it more often, then it's building up that resilience. So it's super cool. Anyway, so how do you step outside your comfort zone? First of all, you have to identify your comfort zones. Where are you? So where in your life are you? Where are you staying within your comfort zone? Where are you not pushing yourself to grow or try new things? So it could include, obviously, your business. If you haven't started a business yet, if you want to start a business, that's a good place to start. Lock in your ABN or lock in your business number, whatever country you're in. That's a good step. That's identifying your comfort zone, that like, ooh, locking myself into like actually committing to starting my business. That is scary. So there's one. So identify it, even if it's like personal life or social connections. Like, do you want to know more people? Do you want to talk to more people more easily? Do you want to develop a skill? Where are your comfort zones? Like, where are your boundaries? Okay. And then obviously set stretch goals. So find ways to stretch a little bit, right? So they just lie a little bit beyond your comfort zone, but they're still achievable. So definitely remember this. I don't like that they have to be achievable like in SMART goals all the time. They don't need to be achievable, because sometimes you got to shoot for the moon and land among the stars, even though that's kind of like there's mixed feelings about that saying. But anyway, you want them to be achievable to start, and you want it to be achievable with just a little bit of effort and a little bit of determination. So nothing too hectic, because like we said at the beginning, you want to build self-efficacy. You want to build that belief in yourself that you can do it. So once you know you can do that, you know you can do the next thing. Okay, so manageable for now, and then you can aim bigger and bigger and bigger. So next, take calculated risks. Okay, like I said, aim bigger later. Calculated risks for now. So try new things, learn new skills, but trust in your ability to handle them. So, and you can calculate a risk. So you have learned experiences. That would be the next one. So take a calculated risk. So you know what you can physically handle, you know what you can mentally handle, but could you handle something a little bit bigger? Like, could you have a difficult conversation is one. You can pretty much have a calculated risk assessment to a difficult conversation, right? Sometimes your brain will tell you negative shit and it'll be like, oh, it's a horrible idea. But you can think it through, pros and cons. If I talk to this person and have this really hard conversation, ultimately, what is the biggest risk? Well, I don't know, lose them as a friend. But like you can see that that's probably not going to happen. So you can calculate that as a risk. You'll have this difficult conversation and then your friendship will be better. Okay, so that's an example. For the next one, it's challenging the negative self-talk, which is what I almost went into right away. Like, as you're taking that calculated risk, what comes up. So you'd have to recognize these, and they're going to try and hold you back. They're going to tell you it's super scary. You're going to die, essentially, is what it's always telling you, right? It's that the negative self-talk is basically that tool in your mind that is trying to keep you alive. It's the way it's communicating with you. Obviously, it's not everyone has that. PS, not everyone has an internal dialogue, and not everyone's is mean. So you can reprogram it. So you need to challenge it to reprogram it. So challenge negative self-talk is the first, I think it's like a big key, actually. So focus on your strengths, focus on your past successes, and focus on like what you can bring to the table. Bring yourself into, like, if you can, as many circles as you can that have positive people in them, that have done big things or done things that you want. You can challenge yourself, talk in that way, because you can see that it's possible. That's one way to do it. The next one is what I just said, actually: seek support and accountability. So accountability is huge. Support actually is even huger. You want a community around you that is there for you, so that you have the space to grow, and gives you accountability where you can actually just say, like, I want to do this big thing. Like, I don't know, I want to learn to swim. Like, you'd probably find a friend that would happily go and swim with you once a week, because you obviously don't want to do that alone because you might drown. But so bring support with you, find some support, share what you want to do, share what you want to like do to step outside your comfort zone with other people. So there are other people that want to do it as well. Like, surely if you want to learn to scuba dive, surely there's someone that wants to learn to scuba dive. It maybe, if it's not in your immediate circle, you can find some Facebook groups, you can do things like that. So find some support network. Okay. The next one is to reflect and to learn from shit that you do. So take time to reflect on your experiences that you have, like shit that you have done outside your comfort zone. If you haven't done anything, like, surely you have done something. There's every little small iota, like I said, a challenging conversation, telling your mom that, I don't know, you can't talk to her today, even though you know that like she hates when you say that. Like, I will call you back even though she hates that. Just, you stepped outside your comfort zone. Sometimes that makes your heart flutter. I definitely know. But just, reflect on them. So see what lessons you've learned. If you've had any times where you've failed, what can you, like, I hate the word failed. If you didn't achieve exactly what you wanted to do, reflect on it, find areas of improvement, and come up with some strategies that will help you do better next time. Okay. And then the last one, this is huge. This seems really silly to me, or it did seem really silly to me a long time ago. Okay, not even that long ago. But anyway, you to celebrate your achievements. Yeah. So milestones are huge and achievements are huge. Even if you're just like, woo, at your desk, even though it's really like lackluster, it's huge. Okay. You, especially if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, especially if you are a current entrepreneur, you want to celebrate. You need to celebrate, or it's going to get really fucking lonely and monotonous, and you're never going to think that you are going anywhere. Okay. Celebrate it. Okay. By reflecting, you can also celebrate, right? So if you reflect, this is one thing I used to love to do. I do love to do, actually. Write on a board or a piece of paper all the things that you've done, even if it's like, if you want to build social connections, you can write like, hung out with this person on this date, hung out with this person on this date, this conversation with this new person that I've never met before was really good. Fucking write them up, tally them out. You just did some reps towards what you want. You want to have more friends, then you got to work on nurture the ones that you have. Celebrate that, reflect on that, celebrate the shit out of it. It doesn't have to look like champagne or anything. I'm actually going to do an episode on how to, I can't remember what I end up calling it, but basically how to celebrate, but in a healthy way. So, like, I wanted to show you what you can do to celebrate things because I don't drink anymore and anything like that. So I was like, what do I do? I don't want to pop champagne. I don't really like champagne. Like, what feels like celebration to me? So yeah, there's a whole episode coming on that. That's how important it is. Okay, amazing. So that's the list. I'm going to list it out. So in case you want to write it down, identify your comfort zones, set stretch goals, take calculated risks. So calculate them, but do them. Challenge negative self-talk, seek support and accountability, reflect and learn from them, celebrate your progress. Okay, amazing. So what are like a few ways you can step outside your comfort zone today? You can learn a new skill or a hobby that you've never tried before. You can explore a new area, an environment. You can travel somewhere, drive an hour somewhere that you've never been. Like, that is already outside your comfort zone, right? You have no idea what's waiting for you there. Like, that's why everyone has like an obsession with like reviews of places because you need to like be in control of like what it's going to be like. Just go somewhere. So try a new food, try a new type of food, like a cuisine. Engage in social interactions with new people or expose yourself to a group of people. Go to a women's circle, go to a yoga class, anything like that. Experience new sensations or stimuli. So it's true. So listen to different music. That's an easy one you can do. Which is, it's funny because when you grow older, you have this obsession, like our brains actually have this obsession with wanting to listen to music we're already familiar with. So this one's huge. Funnily enough, it's huge. So listen to shit that you don't typically listen to it a few times. Make a playlist and obviously do some adventurous stuff if you want. Go zip lining. That's like the safest but most adrenaline filled probably. And then honestly, my favorite is like this really little one that is just like so simple. Just sleep upside down in your bed. So like where your head normally goes, put your feet, sleep upside down, and then wake up in the morning because you'll be like, where the frick am I? And that's going to be that like stimulating all those neural networks in your brain. Okay. That's literally it. You'll be like, why is the ceiling different? Like, where am I? It's actually really fun. It's super fun. And like, then your bed like isn't in the same shape as you're always in. So it's really good. Okay. So I hope you do step outside your comfort zone today. Thank you so much for listening. That was really fun. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram and have chats in the DMs. I clearly love to build deep connections. So I'm here for it. If you want to chat about anything, I'm there at amanda.petra__ on Instagram. And yeah, come say hi, come follow along, come share your experiences on how you have stepped outside your comfort zone today. Tell me what one thing you did, or tell me, what weird thing you did, like sleeping upside down. Yeah, see you there. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Like that. So I was like, what do I do? I don't want to pop champagne. I don't really like champagne. Like, what feels like celebration to me? So yeah, there's a whole episode coming on that. That's how important it is. Okay, amazing. So that's the list. I'm going to list it out. So in case you want to write it down, identify your comfort zones, set stretch goals, take calculated risks. So calculate them, but do them. Challenge negative self-talk, seek support and accountability, reflect and learn from them, celebrate your progress. Okay, amazing. So what are like a few ways you can step outside your comfort zone today? You can learn a new skill or a hobby that you've never tried before. You can explore a new area, an environment. You can travel somewhere, drive an hour somewhere that you've never been. Like, that is already outside your comfort zone, right? You have no idea what's waiting for you there. Like, That's why everyone has like an obsession with like reviews of places, because you need to like be in control of like what it's going to be like. Just go somewhere. So try a new food, try a new type of food, like a cuisine. Engage in social interactions with new people, or expose yourself to a group of people. Go to a women's circle, go to a yoga class, anything like that. Experience new sensations or stimuli. So it's true. So listen to different music. That's an easy one you can do. Which is, it's funny because when you grow older, you have this obsession, like our brains actually have this obsession with wanting to listen to music we're already familiar with. So this one's huge. Funnily enough, it's huge. So listen to shit that you don't typically listen to it a few times. Make a playlist, and obviously do some adventurous stuff if you want. Go zip lining. That's like the safest but most adrenaline filled probably. And then honestly, my favorite is like this really little one that is just like so simple. Just sleep upside down in your bed. So like where your head normally goes, put your feet, sleep upside down, and then wake up in the morning, because you'll be like, where the frick am I? And that's going to be that like stimulating all those neural networks in your brain. Okay. That's literally it. You'll be like, why is the ceiling different? Like, where am I? It's actually really fun. It's super fun. And like, then your bed like isn't in the same shape as you're always in. So it's really good. Okay. So I hope you do step outside your comfort zone today. Thank you so much for listening. That was really fun. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram and have chats in the DMs. I clearly love to build deep connections. So I'm here for it. If you want to chat about anything, I'm there at amanda.petra__ on Instagram. And yeah, come say hi, come follow along, come share your experiences on how you have stepped outside your comfort zone today. Tell me what one thing you did, or tell me, what weird thing you did, like sleeping upside down. Yeah, see you there. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I do hope you enjoyed that. We are exploring our comfort zones and our edges with every episode, every guest, and every episode I do by myself. If you have enjoyed this, please follow us on Spotify, leave a 5-star review or a review on Apple Podcasts. It would mean the world to us. We get to grow and have more informative guests on, more provocative guests, if that's what you want. I am so down to see where this grows. In the meantime, follow me on Instagram at amanda.petra__, and I would love to chat with you in the DMs. What hit home, what didn't, what came to mind. It would be really cool. So I will see you there, and thank you so much. See you in the next episode. Although our podcast presenters and all guests strive to deliver accurate information, they cannot address your unique circumstances comprehensively. Therefore, the content shared by any speaker on this platform is not personalized advice for individuals and should not substitute professional medical or health guidance. It is crucial to consult a qualified medical professional or for personalized advice. Additionally, always seek guidance from a healthcare provider before making decisions regarding your health or that of your family. Furthermore, it's essential to recognize that what works for one person may not work for another, emphasizing individual responsibility for health decisions as promoted on our show.